Right, so no intro today. Well, technically still an intro, just in the gym. And the reason for that is I couldn't find a seat out the front. It was really busy tonight at the front of the gym in the reception area. So I couldn't really record a intro clip there, and I didn't record one at home. And I'm going to be too tired by the time I get home, I think, to record one when I get home. So instead of a post-workout intro clip like I did in the previous chest day, I think, which is actually, I think, the most recent video uploaded, which I'll explain in a minute as to the reason why that is. But yeah, I'm just going to do the intro video here. So long story short, I did record pretty much every training session last week, but the issue with it is the audio is absolutely butchered. I don't know if the audio quality is going to turn out anything respectable in this video either. So if the audio runs into the same kind of technical error or technical difficulty that the previous few videos did, then I'm just going to have to upload all of this footage and do a voiceover and figure out what the hell is going on with my microphone. But I've got the Rode Wireless Go 2, which I've had for several years now, and there's been like a lot of crackling, and it hasn't always been the case. Like, I mean, the other week I had it happen on a couple of training sessions, and then it was fine on one of the training sessions. So I'm inclined to believe that it's probably an issue with whether or not the actual microphone is the microphone jack, whether or not it's actually pushed in fully into the camera or not. I'm thinking maybe I've recorded some sessions last week where I didn't quite have the microphone jack pushed in all the way, and so it's kind of resulted in a partial connection and therefore like partial audio recording with like the crackling amidst it. So we'll see how things go in this training session, but essentially I apologize. I did record all of the footage for the other sessions of last week, but I just never got around to uploading them because of the crackling audio. I got to the editing process and I just thought to myself, you know what, it's not even worth uploading this, it's absolute garbage. So turning a new leaf, it's a new week, first day of the new week, Monday, last day of the surplus before I start the deficit tomorrow. And technically I'm still in the bulk, like it's just a clean-up phase, but I might start a new title for the series tomorrow. I might start a new series called like the cut or the deficit, but tomorrow will be day one of the deficit, and it'll be running anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks depending on how long it takes to tidy up this physique, because I'm a little bit fluffy at the moment. Although yeah, that's pretty much the plan. Tidy up phase, get back into growing as soon as possible. So I'll definitely record tomorrow's session and all of the following sessions for the week, and I'm just going to be very consistent so long as the audio is good. If the audio is trash again, I might just still upload it, but I'll just do a voiceover and have some background music. As much as I don't like doing that, and as much of a pain in the ass as it is, it's better than not uploading anything at all, and I'm sure you'd agree with me. So to avoid running into the same kind of dilemma I ran into the other week where I just got the shits with the audio quality, didn't upload it at all, I'll just do the next best thing, video footage with a voiceover and some background music, and I'll try sort out whatever the heck's going on with the microphone as quickly as possible. But best case scenario, the audio works in this session, everything's fine and dandy, and I can upload the session as is, which would be amazing. So doing a warm-up set to start with on calves, and then I'll go into the first working set. So heavier, still the lower rep range like I did the last few weeks. Okay. Back up to the working weight from last week, which I believe was 285 pounds. I'll just double check that. No, it was 325 pounds. And that is a per foot that is a perfect example of why you should record your training. You shouldn't just try to keep a mental note of what you did last week. You should actually write it down, because right then I literally thought I did 285 pounds last week. Actually 325 pounds, so that would have been way off the mark. So it always pays to check your logbook or check your previous week's session and what weights you used, how many reps you got. I've been doing this shit for over 10 years. I've been lifting weights for over 10 years. Well over 10 years now. And I still fuck up. I still make mistakes. So if you're 1 or 2 years into your lifting, I hate to break it to you, you should be tracking your training. If you're not, you should be hiring a coach like myself or somebody else who's good at what they do and getting them to help you with your training. Because you're leaving gains on the table if you're just instinctively training, especially if you're that early into your lifting career. Tell you one thing, I'm actually really looking forward to eating less food as of tomorrow. As much as I love growing, as much as I love the off season, having the occasional mini cut or even a bit of a more extended deficit phase in the middle of your off season is actually very productive, because I don't think you really realize how much stuff goes to shit in a off season or in a surplus until you've actually been in a proper serious surplus phase for several months on end. I mean, sure, when you go into a deficit, you're going to improve and dial in body composition. That's a given. We all know that, because if you're eating a surplus to build muscle, inevitably you accrue some fat along the way in that process. And when you go into a deficit phase, you clean up body composition, you lose some body fat, you get a little bit tighter. Obviously, recovery is impacted a little bit, so you have to be a bit more mindful and strategic with how you train in terms of how much work or volume you do in the gym, that sort of stuff. But there's a lot of indirect ways that just basically pulling back in the off season can improve your ability to build muscle. Like when you're going from a surplus into a bit of a mini cut, your digestion improves, your quality of sleep improves. All of these things affect your ability to recover in a positive way, because when you're constantly pushing food in a surplus, constantly pushing your training in a surplus, your sleep goes to shit because you're getting bigger, there's more weight, compression, and when you go to sleep, a heavier chest is going to cause your airways to close up a little bit. In addition to that, you can get what I call food-induced sleep apnea, where you have such a large volume of food in your gastrointestinal tract that it just basically places additional demand and weight in that area, and so it just helps to kind of alleviate that by going into a deficit. So what you'll find is your sleep will improve, your digestion will improve in a deficit, your energy levels, your productivity, everything will just kind of get reset. Your nutrient partitioning on a number of fronts, like your insulin sensitivity is going to improve. So because your beta cells of the pancreas aren't being, I suppose, recruited and forced to produce as much insulin, when you pull food back, particularly carbohydrates, it gives your body that much needed break it requires, just to essentially, I suppose, restore to factory settings, and then you can put the foot back down on the throttle and keep going. So I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so last week I used the what's it called, the Life Fitness pec deck. So a different machine. So whatever weight I used last week isn't really relevant to what I'm doing this week. But the previous week I was doing this, and the week before that I was. So I just jumped a couple of weeks back to see what I did last time, and it was 90 pound, but I only got 9 reps per set. So I'd like to get a little bit more than that. I did like 10 or 11 reps per set minimum, and kind of escalate the weight from 80 once I hit like a solid 13, 14 reps. So what I've done is I've just backed it off to 80 today, 80 pound. I want to see how that goes in terms of how the weight moves, how many reps I get. And if I land somewhere in the like 10 to 12 ballpark, I'll be happy, and I'll just keep it at this weight till I, like I said, get like 13 or 14 reps per set. Already did one warm-up set, things are feeling pretty good, so I'll just dive into the first working set now. Gym's really noisy though, so I might have to chuck the earphones in after this set. Right, that is playing. That is recording. Just got a calf cramp. First set went pretty good. 11 reps with 80 pounds, so I'll keep it at this weight for the next couple of weeks, I think, till I can hit a comfortable or semi-comfortable 3 sets of 14-ish with about 1 rep in reserve. Then I'll bump the weight up to 90 pounds. I'll tell you what though, I'm really looking forward to eating less food as of tomorrow when the cut starts, or when the mini cut starts, whatever you want to call it. Because, I mean, when it comes to being in a surplus, we all know that body composition slowly declines over time, and we get sick of that. We like seeing ourselves leaner. We don't like seeing our abs slowly fade away and all that sort of stuff. And although if you approach an off-season properly, you're never going to get what I would like to call fat. You do lose some lines and some detail, and I'm looking forward to that. However, the big thing that I'm really looking forward to is the other things that improve when you start dieting. The things that a lot of people don't realize, I suppose, what's the way? The things that people don't realize you lose when you're in a surplus, like quality of sleep, good digestion, just general energy levels throughout the day. Like, I mean, I can't think of a day in the last month where I've had good, consistent energy levels, or a night where I've had a good quality sleep that has been uninterrupted from needing to go to the toilet multiple times or just not getting good quality sleep. I mean, when you're putting on size, you get sleep apnea, you get poor digestion over time. All these things kind of just compound, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to feeling good again. Need to keep in mind that I'm very susceptible to pec injuries. I always get carried away when I train chest and I push a little too hard. Not that you shouldn't train chest hard, it's just if you have a prior history of back tears, you probably want to heat on the side of caution and go a little bit more in reserve in terms of your reps in reserve. Still staying within that kind of effective zone though. Yeah. Final set done, now it's time for the hammer strength incline press. Used to be incline smith press, but it's just always too busy. I can't justify keeping it in my block. Maybe if I train at a quieter time in the future, I'll put it back in. But the next best thing is just the conversion of hammer strength incline press. So I do 3 of that. And then I believe it's 2 sets of the incline press for 8 total sets of chest. Okay, so first press movement of the session is the hammer strength incline press. I haven't done a warm-up set on this. I feel quite warm from the flyers, so I'm hoping that's enough. And I know I shouldn't be just taking risks with this sort of stuff, especially like I said, given that I have a history of pec tears. However, I just want to smash through the session and get home as soon as possible. So see how it goes. Cross your fingers, I don't hurt myself. I'm definitely crossing my fingers. thought the C was just a notch too high. Let's see how this goes. Conserving myself for the last set, still got one to go, so just aim to match the rest of set one. We'll push all out on the last one. Two sets of these. Gotta tell you what, when you sit in this machine, it's like sitting into a bucket seat in like a race car. You just fall like so far down on the back of it. Okay. Sitting tight. I don't know if it's the machine or if it's me, but I feel a little bit twisted when I do this exercise, so I might have to pay a bit more attention to how I'm positioned, because the equipment isn't kind of aligned with all the other equipment, so if you're trying to like line yourself up based on the surroundings, you kind of screw yourself over. I think that's what I was doing there. So I'll just pay a lot closer attention to how I kind of sit down into the chair and position myself on that final set coming up. Alright. Time for that final set. Oh, there it goes again, the bucket seat. I didn't really pay attention to it. I was positioning that going down there, so I'm kind of in that same predicament I was in that first set. Hopefully I'm aligned, because I'm just going to go for it. Bit of a lighter grip. Triceps. Okay, I'll do one warm-up set, and then I'll dive into the first working set. I've got 3 of these. Moderate mash. So, plate number 14 for the working weight. Oh, that's all good.
Sorry.
No, that's so good. That's so good. Plate number 14, so yeah, see how it goes, I guess. What did I get? Plate number 14 for 11. 3 sets of 11 last week, so see how it goes, I guess. Elbows were feeling a bit funny. Last time I hit triceps later in the week after, only a few days ago. But I managed to find my favourite attachment, so I'm pretty happy. It's the second session in a row I've managed to find it, so just decided to start making appearances again. Alright, got a winner. Plate number 14. You know what? I'm going to go 12 because I didn't have this attachment when I did this session last time. It might have been a straight bar, and if it's a straight bar I can move my weight. So I'll just go to what I did in the most recent session I hit triceps, which was the second time I hit triceps in the week. Because I had this attachment, even though it was on a different training session. It's going to be more reliable, I think, for like a reference point in regards to how much load to use. So, get the music going. It's quite noisy in here. Yeah, I think that was a good call, just lowering it to 12 instead of doing plate number 13, plate number 14. Yeah. Would have been way too heavy. I mean, I probably would have gotten 10 reps, but I'd say I would have felt it a lot in my joints, in my elbows, and actually my triceps. So, yeah. Time for setting with it. The gym is busy tonight. So busy, it's making my social anxiety go off the fritz. Thanks to noise cancelling headphones though, that's not too much of an issue. You just kind of block out the ambience and it feels like it's a little less busy. Pro tip for anybody who does get some like social anxiety too in populated public areas. Put in a pair of noise cancelling headphones or AirPods in my case and just put the noise cancellation on. You don't even have to have music on, just noise cancellation will just dull all that background noise. You feel a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, one more set, and then on to the final tricep exercise of the session. Triceps are well and truly warm now by this point, so I don't need to do a warm-up set on this. I'll be able to jump straight into the working weight, which is good. Handy, efficient, as it saves time to get out of the gym quicker. It's funny, the moment I'm getting into the gym, or the moment I get into the gym I should say, I can't stop thinking about the moment I get to walk out of the gym. Don't get me wrong, I love training. I love following my meal plan. I love all of that shit. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if I had my own personal gym and I didn't have to interact with anybody, if you get what I mean. I just get anxious. I think everybody does to a degree in gyms, but I don't know what it is. I just feel like people are going to mess with my session. It was 3 sets of 14 on the last exercise. So 140 pound last week, I got for 3 sets of 14 on this. Now I've kind of gone over the reason why I don't use this machine in the conventional sense or in a conventional way. Like I sit the seat right down as far as it goes, and I kind of use the back of the seat as thigh support as I kind of lean forward over the top of the machine like this. I just find I can disengage my core a lot more. That way I don't get ab cramps. I don't even risk the potential of getting ab cramps when I do the tricep movement. And that's a good thing because, I mean, if you're training triceps, you don't want your abs to be the limiting factor, the rate limiting factor. If it is, then your triceps aren't going to be getting as big as they could be. Same thing with like a bench press. If your triceps are the limiting factor in a bench press, then your chest isn't really getting the most out of it. Second set now. Gosh.